got to do them all. Come on.
So speak ye, and so do as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty.
Come on. What's the law of liberty? Freedom. Listen, once you keep all the laws and you follow Christ, it's a form of freedom. Just like when you're a citizen in America, you keep all the laws, it's a form of freedom that comes with that liberty. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing everything right, that's a form of living with liberty. Come on.
This is
way over a lot of people's heads.
For he shall have judgment without mercy that have shown no mercy, and mercy rejoice against judgment.
Yo, this is the easy part about the scriptures, and it's also the hard part about the scriptures, as far as teaching. Because people only hear with one ear, they don't hear with both ears. You know what I mean? Right. That's like when you try to teach it, the law is just like, you know what it's like? It's like shame and disgust when they hear it. Like, oh man, I'm hearing this law, but I know the laws are done away with. In the back of their minds, they fight.
You know what I don't like about like
1 John 5 and 3.
Yeah, 1 John 5.
You know what I don't like about the stuff that we go through as Israelites trying to teach? I don't like that, like all the other Israelites, they don't want to be Israelites. Like, I would want to be an Israelite. Like, why would you not want to be the chosen seed of the Most High?
It's just something they got to go through, man. The Most High said he's going to chastise Israel, right? And through scorch and pain, that's how they're going to come out of it. We're living during our corrective moment right now. This is all correction for us. You got Hosea 8:8? Read that.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 8, verse 8. Israel is swallowed up. How shall they be among the Gentiles? As a vessel wherein is no pleasure.
Right, so we're swallowed up amongst the Gentiles. Go back to James 2 and go to that part about
you don't keep where's the faith? It's 2, chapter 2.
Chapter 2, verse 4. He shall have judgment without mercy.
About the faith in the law. That's 2.
Yeah, I can ever make it to go see that movie.
Which one?
Didn't that turn around?
No, I might see it tonight.
I might go see it maybe tomorrow.
Book of James, chapter 2, verse 20. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead?
What?
Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Seeing thou have faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect.
Right, so works and faith go together. Laws and faith go together. Abraham had it, Christ had it. So all the way through, we had it. All right, read that.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 31.
What?
Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yea, we establish the law.
We what?
We establish the law.
We establish the law. So all through the scriptures is telling us to keep God's laws. Okay? When we bring out these scriptures, our job is to wake up our people and show them the basis of understanding through what? The law. King David kept the law. If you want to be great like King David, you got to do what? Keep the law. Right? Did King David have faith? Yeah, he had faith. What do you think the whole book of Psalms is about? Give me Psalms 119. Give me Psalms 119 and you give me Psalms 101. Psalms 101. So I mean, yeah, the brothers talking about Nat Turner. That movie is basically fear tactics. You know, they basically say, Jake, if you get out of line, this is what's going to happen to you. That's basically, yeah, that's basically what that movie's all about. Even though it's history. Read that, Jake, Psalms 101.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1.
What?
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
His delight is what?
Is in the law of the Lord.
What?
And in his law doeth he meditate day and night.
Right.
And he shall be like a tree. And he shall be like a tree.
Hey, just so y'all know, y'all Israelites. If we didn't tell you, nobody else would. No Muslim here. We Israelites. You're an Israelite. Your forefathers came off them slave ships, and they were Israelites.
He's still stuck in the 60s.
I had to tell him.
Yeah. He's stuck in the 60s.
And shall be like, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Right. So I mean, basically, with those two brothers, look, we have to reach out to our people when they come up because they don't know any better. That's our chance of liberty to give the truth to them.
What language is that?
So it's actually Hebrew. You know, it comes from Hebrew. So I mean, Arabic is the closest thing to Hebrew.
That's a slave language.
Yeah, but it's the closest thing to Hebrew. You gotta remember, Muhammad got his information from who? The Israelites. He learned everything about his history through the Israelites because what did he do? He had to trade. He used to be, what do you call it when they trade?
Oh, no, he was a jockey.
No, he was
Camel jockey.
no, he wasn't just a camel jockey.
Oh, okay.
He used to be a tradesman. He used to trade, like barter system.
Okay.
So he used to travel. He was a merchant. That's what he was. He was a merchant. Like we read in Nehemiah, that's what Muhammad was. He was a merchant. He would sell stuff to the Israelites. And as he would sell stuff to the Israelites,
We'll watch with everything they do.
they'd be telling them, look, this is what happened to your history. Like we be telling Moabites when they walk up. They were like, where are we on the sign? We're like, you're not on this sign, you Moab. They're like, what is Moab? We're like, you come out the Chinese. And they're like, okay, the Chinese come from Moab. Or we be like, Ishmael will come up. We're like, we know you're Ishmael. Well, that's what happened with Muhammad. He walked up to the Israelites and they was like, you come from a great nation. Your nation is called the Ishmaelites. You know what I mean? Your forefather helped our forefather Moses. You know what I mean? And so he drafted, he didn't get drafted in, but he took that information and took it to his people who was destroyed, who was still worshiping the moon god, right? And Ashereth and all those different false pagan images. But that's how he got the information. So that language that they speak is from Hebrew, okay? The ancient Hebrew. So that's closer to our language than any other language, okay? That's why when you read Hamashiach Yahushua, when he came back, he said what? Assalamu alaikum. He said that. When he came up in the upper room. What verse is that when he came up? Go to, go to Luke.
In the scripture.
Luke 24 and 39. I think it's Luke 24.
I must have overlooked that.
Yeah, he says, Assalamu alaikum, right? Meaning peace be with you.
Right.
Luke 24.
As-salam, and we say shalom.
We say shalom, they say salam.
That's like, we say ak, they say aki.
Right. So, I mean, all the languages are there. He said, peace be upon you. John 20 and 21. Give me Acts, all right? Go to Acts, where he got knocked off the horse in Damascus. Acts 21.
This is the book of John, chapter 20, verse 21. Then said Yahushua to them again, peace be unto you, as my Father hath sent me, even so I send you.
Okay, so in some Bibles, not in this 1611, but in some Bibles they say Assalamu alaikum. Right? So peace be unto you is the same thing. Okay? So I mean that language is closer to our language than any other language on earth. Because we resided amongst each other. And remember, they took over our land too. Right? So the so-called Jewish people took a Yiddish language and the Arabic took an Arabic Hebrew. Right. So they took an Arabic Hebrew, the Yiddish took a Yiddish Hebrew. Right. Acts 21 and 24. It says when he knocked them off the horses in Damascus.
Book of Acts, chapter 26, verse 13. At midday, O king, I saw in the way a light from heaven, above the brightness of the sun, shining round about me and them which journeyed with me. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking upon me and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecute thou me?
So he was speaking in what tongue? The Hebrew tongue. So when Christ was coming back and forth, he was speaking in the Hebrew tongue. Did not Saul understand him? He understood him. What was Paul speaking? Hebrew. What was Moses speaking? Hebrew. Right? Moses spoke, he understood Hebrew too. Go to Exodus chapter 3. Start at the first verse. Exodus 3 and 1. Give me Acts 7 and 21. Whoever gets it first. Acts 7:21. Our people always spoke the ancient language. That was our original language in the old days, Hebrew. You Negroes never really spoke English. Y'all was always speaking Hebrew. When you was in West Africa, y'all was speaking Hebrew. Y'all wasn't speaking Arabic. Y'all was speaking Hebrew. Who got it first?
This is the book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 21. And when he was cast out, Pharaoh's daughter took him up and nourished him for her own son. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and in deeds.
So he spoke the Egyptian language first. Moses did. He didn't speak Hebrew then. Right? Come on. But he was mighty in words and in deeds. So did he study it? Study the Hebrew language? Yeah, he knew what they were speaking. He couldn't be ignorant of the fact that your slaves spoke a different language. His slaves were speaking Hebrew. He had to know it, as well as as well as command them. Go ahead.
And when he was a full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel.
Children of Israel, come on.
And seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him that was oppressed and smote the Egyptian.
Our people had always been oppressed. When you read Exodus chapter 3, 1, it talks about us being oppressed. Moses saw the oppression of his people in Egypt, in captivity. Just like we see our people in America in captivity. It's the same thing. Come on.
For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that God by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. And the next day he showed himself unto them as they strove, and would have set them at one again, saying, Sirs, ye are brethren, why do ye wrong one to another?
Right, so here's Moses talking to his Hebrew brothers, which were black men. These were all black men. All right? Hebrew Israelites are black people. If y'all didn't know, now you know. The ancient Jews were black people. Okay? They were all black. They were in the hottest region of the world.
They couldn't be white.
They couldn't, there's no way they could be Caucasian. All right? They were black people. Moses was a black man. Abraham was a black man. All right? All these people were black people. Yahweh Shai, the one the world calls Jesus Christ. Black man. Okay? Come on.
Keep going. But he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away, saying, Who made thee a ruler and a judge over us?
That's how our people act now. Come on.
Wilt thou kill me as thou didst the Egyptian yesterday?
Right, that's how our people do. Right? They scorn us. Come on.
Then fled Moses at this, saying, and was a stranger in the land of Midian, where he begat 2 sons.
Right, in the land of Midian, that's where the Arabic people comes from. Midian. Nah, it's in the wilderness east of Egypt. North of Egypt.
And when 40 years were expired, there appeared to him in the wilderness of Mount Sinai an angel of the Lord. An angel of the Lord in a flame of fire in a bush.
So Moses went before an angel of the Lord. Okay, come on.
When Moses saw it, he wondered at the sight. And as he drew near to behold it, the voice of the Lord came unto him.
Now what voice was that came to him? Hebrew. It was the voice of the Most High. It came in the Hebrew tongue. Come on. Find out about Moses couldn't speak.
Saying,
with his tongue.
Saying, I am the God of thy fathers, and the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Then Moses trembled and durst not behold.
So Moses was spoken by who? The Most High used the angel to speak to Moses. Right? Read 3:1 before you turn the page. Exodus 3:1.
Book of Exodus chapter 3 verse 1. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb.
Now go to 4:1. So Moses was in the land of Midian, and this is what he was, a shepherd. So all the prophets were shepherds. Okay, they were shepherds, and Christ likened us to be shepherds to talk to our people, to teach them the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? Come on.
Book of Exodus chapter 4 verse 1. And Moses answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, The Lord hath not appeared unto thee. And the Lord said unto him, What is that in thy hand? And he said, A rod.
So here's the Most High speaking by angel to Moses again. Okay? Go to the 10th verse.
Esau red as hell, boy. Look at him. That red Esau is.
Book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 10. And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech.
So what is the slow of speech? The slow of speech is Moses didn't speak ancient Hebrew. He didn't speak it fluently, right? He spoke Hebrew, but it wasn't fluent. What's up, bro? How you doing? I don't have any flyers, you got it? Yeah, so our job is to come out and wake up our people. You hear us talking a little bit, huh?
You heard about it?
No, I haven't, but I'm all about this. I'm at work right now, so if I have more time, I'll talk.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I like to get involved.
Yeah. All we doing, man, is try to wake up our people.
I already know that because we sleep, man.
We done. We fry. Hey, our people are fried.
We ain't done, no, bro.
No, we ain't done yet. There's a little mercy and grace still here. That's why we out here.
And so it's like I tell people, in Scripture says God chose people like us. You know what I'm saying? To shame those who look at us. That's right. In a way that we can't change. Because through Him, we change what we come to accept Him. That's right. Change is here for us.
You got the right spirit, man.
I do, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm one that I was lost, right? And I know staying connected with Him and change comes. Right. But until we do so, we'll stay lost.
That's it. Hey man, he's always used men to wake up his people.
Come on, man.
That's why we're here. He ain't gonna send some angel from the sky.
He uses us.
I like that last page too, where it says Ham.
We look at even
So
today,
he know what he's looking for.
ones that's lost, but God may have put them in that position. Of course, we make the choices. Okay, since you make the choice, I'm allowed this to happen.
Yeah,
You know what
the
I'm
scriptures.
saying? And it's for the benefit that He be shown.
That's right.
Through that individual.
It's all about Him.
Exactly.
All we are is conduit.
Once they make the connection, look at Saul.
The script.
Let me get that page.
Jeremiah 48. Yeah, the Most High said it is a light thing to raise up the tribes of Israel.
That's right.
And so when brothers hear that,
29:5.
yeah, when brothers hear that, they try to take advantage of a situation, be lords on the fly. You can't be lords on the fly, man.
No, you
if he
can't.
says it's a light thing, it is a light thing. Just by me and you talking, that's a light thing to tell you who you are. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Not for you to take advantage of.
Exactly. And so it's just you guys right now?
Yeah, we've been
We got
doing
other
this for a
brothers
long
too.
time.
We're going to add one.
Hey man, we need all the help we can
I
get.
love this, bro, because I'm going to tell you, I got some history in regards to being in these streets. And I know
From the pastures and from following the sheep to be prince over my people Israel. I have been with you wherever you have gone and have destroyed all the enemies in your path. I will make you a great name among the great ones of the earth. I will assign a place for my people in Israel. There I will plant them, and they shall dwell in their own land.